So figure out what's the problem, and then you reverse engineer it to figure out how you can provide solutions.
You mentioned give before you get, which is valuable advice, classic advice, and something I actually wrote a LinkedIn post about yesterday, the day before, saying, hey, we're going to have Trevor. His big thing is when you think about networking, give before you get. And somebody commented on it and said, it's actually not so easy to give sometimes. Sometimes you're speaking with somebody and you just don't know what there is to give. You don't know, maybe your esteem is low at the moment. Maybe you just, it's a totally different industry. Like I said, we got people in here who are super, super technical engineers. Like, how can I help them? I'm a marketer. When
Ask.
when I feel like I don't know what to give, Trevor, where do you go? What do you give then?
Ask. I mean, you just have to ask the right questions, right? And I didn't know how to help job seekers, right? When I first started in 2015, I was not a job seeker expert, but I am now. 5 years later, right? You become what you focus on, right? Your focus becomes reality. So if you don't know how to help somebody, it's because you're not asking the right questions. Figure out, first of all, what's the problem? What are you trying to solve? Do they have a problem? Right? Why? I mean, you can't help somebody unless you know what the problem is. So figure out what's the problem, and then you reverse engineer it to figure out how you can provide solutions. Right? Like you think about, I'm a big fan of the Shark Tank, and we actually have a Shark Tanker coming on our show tomorrow. Anybody here a fan of Shark Tank? Okay. So on the Shark Tank, they always have this business, right? The business didn't ever start until they were trying to solve a problem first, right? It was always a problem, and then they reverse engineered it to create a product or a service to create this business, right? It's the same thing when you're trying to help somebody. You have to figure out what's the problem and then reverse engineer it to figure out what's the solution and how can you solve it.